actually admit I am an alcoholic, probably a functioning alcoholic. Anything up from 6 beers up to like 15. I think the maximum I had one time was 18. And back then I would drink like 1.5 bottles of wine, go to work the next day, have like wine-stained lips. A big part was I just loved the feeling it gave me. Maybe I liked being numb as well. Passing day 7, which has not happened in the last, since I was 14. I'm 31 now, so how many years is that? 16, 17 years? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink maybe 1 or 2 of these cans, and let's see if it's placebo, if I actually feel like I'm drunk or what the situation is like. I was pretty ashamed of myself this morning. I have actually thought really hard about, maybe I'll just have 1 drink. But we can't trust me. But I went overboard and I broke the detox, I relapsed. Hi everyone, my name is Kim, and in today's video I thought I would do something different, something that I think is well overdue. I'm just going to straight up say it. I am going to go on a detox of no alcohol for 30 days, and it actually is a very big deal. So I will actually admit I am an alcoholic, probably a functioning alcoholic, which is why I probably always made excuses as to why I could drink, or maybe why it wasn't as bad, my alcoholism, when people did confront me about it. So to give you context, it is June at the moment, it is June 8th and we are starting it today. So today will be day 1 and I'm not going to drink for 30 days. I'm going to try my hardest, but I think I can do it. I'm going to manifest this, I can do it. So to give you context, since December, so we're going on to 6 or 7 months now, the longest I have not drank for is 4 days, and I think that was just a once off. Otherwise, it's every day, and I'm talking like not 1 beer or 2 beers or 3 beers or 4 beers. I'm talking like I can have 8 to 16 beers and be like, I'm good, right? Or clearly I'm drunk, but think nothing of it. There are days, a lot of days, that I drink by myself, and I think that like a lot of people over the years have actually, my 2 closest best friends have actually pulled me aside, and they also have had the same kind of journey of really drinking a lot of alcohol, but they had now like stepped and moved away from that, broken that habit, broken that alcoholism, and got out of it. I'm the last one, to be very honest, and it's actually time to actually embark on this journey and see how I go to break these habits, right? So they've pulled me aside many times and told me, hey, you need to actually, like, why do you think that it's okay to drink like this? When I was breaking the habit, I also really had to wake up and admit that I'm actually an alcoholic, blah, blah, blah. Like we use, for example, milestones to drink. We're having a bad day, we will drink. Any excuse, let's have a drink. Bad day at work, let's have a drink. Something minor, let's have a drink. Something happy, good mood, let's have a drink. So it's always associating these things with alcohol, and I do that all the time. Prior to December, I will have to actually really be honest that I would drink every weekend, at least once a week, for maybe the last 15 years. And I think that a big part of me thought that that was okay, but this is binge drinking. Probably have had blackouts when I was younger, right? Somehow managed to get myself home, all these things, right? But now looking back and thinking that it's so normal because it's been happening for so long, I think that I'm really looking to get out of this. It's not healthy. I've had a last couple of months has been really difficult, and I think to actually get out of this mental struggle is to really look after my health and make some improvements. So that's what I'm doing, this vlog, this challenge. I'm hoping for the best. I will take you through my journey of what it's like to not have it. So the first milestone here is to break the day 4. So I should give you an update on day 5. And then the second one, I said that usually it's a week, so I should give you an update on day 8. And you know what? Apparently it takes 21 days to break a habit. So a new update on day 22. And I will update you along the way if there's anything, to really update about my mood, my health, my skin, withdrawal symptoms, because I think it's going to happen. Like, I don't know what to expect, but I'm here to achieve this, and to document it. So here's to drinking more water this month, guys. Cheers. Day 2 guys, and I didn't expect to have such a quick update, but I have just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And honestly, thank you so much if you are an old subscriber or a new subscriber or just anyone watching. Thank you for following my journey and for supporting me along the way. Today would be an occasion that I definitely would be on the drinks, but I am not. I'm going to stay strong. Honestly, yesterday was quite hard. Going to Korean barbecue, not having soju or beer was actually pretty hard. And then today, hitting this milestone, which is something that I have been wanting to hit, and I'm so happy that I have hit it. Honestly, it would be to have some drinks. But stay strong. Let's have some water. If you guys are watching this, have a drink for me, please. And I will keep you updated on the journey. Going strong, day 2.
How does it work?
See if it tastes good. 0%. It tastes pretty legit. Yeah. Cheers. Okay, quick little update. So I'm on day 4. I'm about to break my first milestone, which is accomplishing 4 days without alcohol. So tomorrow will be day 5, and I will give you a proper update. Tonight was probably the hardest night because I went to a social event which was actually hosted at a beer hall. So it's called Beer on Banks, and they have nothing but beer. But I went for alcohol-free beer. Super interesting. I can't believe I've become one of those people. They've actually had 0% beer on a night out. It's super strange. Honestly, I felt a little bit out of place, so I left early. I'm just going to head home, watch some shows and eat something, treat myself to something tasty and delicious, and I'll give you guys a proper update tomorrow. But we're about to hit the first milestone. Woo! Almost forgot to give you guys an update, but I have made it to day 5. My record in the since December. It's June now. So what's that? 7 months, right? So incredible. Honestly, I did much better than I thought. And I think also the reason being is because I really actually came into it being like, hey, I need to change this. Like, this isn't healthy. So going into it, I already was very determined, and I think that kind of helped. But you know, the last 4 days has been crazy. I mean, the first day, as you would have saw, I went to a social event. We went to Korean barbecue. So I went to play board games with my friends. No problem, don't need to drink, but usually I would, put it that way. Then we went to Korean barbecue, and honestly, I don't think I've ever been to Korean barbecue and not had alcohol, like beer or soju, or even soju bomb. So that was weird. But luckily, none of my friends were drinking as well, so that made it so much easier. Otherwise, I really wonder like what would have happened. Second day, I got monetized on YouTube as I did a mini clip. And you know, the urge to drink wasn't that big, but you know, once again, as mentioned, I usually associate these things with like, oh, celebration, let's have a drink, right? But no, I wasn't really craving that day. Day 3, I went to a soccer game, and honestly, I've never been to a sporting match where I have not had a beer in my life. So that was a little bit odd, but not so strange because I was by myself. So I wasn't tempted by anyone else. Like, I wasn't with anyone drinking. So not too bad. And yesterday was probably the weirdest thing because I went to Beer on Bank, which was nothing but beer. Everybody drinking beer. And yeah, I mean, I felt a little bit out of place. It wasn't like I couldn't socialize. I just felt a little bit like maybe self-conscious or maybe like not as relaxed as everyone else that was drinking. So I decided to leave the event early because I just felt I felt pretty exhausted. My battery was just low from my social battery. My social energy was just low. But you know, I've made it here at day 5. There are a few things to note. So firstly, I definitely noticed that my sleep struggled so much. I would stay up so late. It's like insomnia. I would stay up so late, then go to sleep for maybe 3 or 4 or maximum 5.5 hours over the last, like each night, as in per night. That was the best sleep I got. Would wake up pretty early. and just be like, what the hell's going on, right? Second thing is that I would always have like kind of like a headache that would be like ongoing. And then thirdly, I noticed that I was a little bit grumpy. So I went to go get food delivery yesterday. And I don't know if I was just tired or what it was, right? And then downstairs, you need to like sign off when you get your food delivered. And usually like, if it's not busy, they just kind of check the photo on the Grab app and confirm that it's the same thing pack that you picked up, because everyone's food gets dropped off at the same spot. And so I was kind of annoyed, like, why do I need to fill out this piece of paper, blah, blah, blah. Like, a little bit grumpy, and I was like, oh my God, like what's wrong with me, right? Those are the things to note for sure. Other than that, I think like eating healthier and then also just exercising has made me actually want to continue this challenge, or want to like make sure that I fulfill the challenge, because I'm looking to also lose weight, and you know, cutting out carbs, cutting out beers would be very helpful. So guys, first milestone has been reached, and then the next one, I think it's going to get harder from here. Passing day 7, which has not happened in the last, since I was 14. I'm 31 now. So how many years is that? 16, 17 years? I mean, yeah, that's pretty sad, but we're going to hit that for sure. And I'll keep you updated if there is anything to note. Good afternoon, homies. Today is day 7 of the detox. We are just about to beat my record. It is the 14th of June, Saturday, and I just submitted my final assignment for my TEFL course, which has been going on forever because I've just been so lazy to get around and finish it, but I have actually submitted it. Hopefully all good. But you know what? It's really made me want to have a drink. On top of that, I've just caught up with my parents, and me and my dad, we always have virtual beers once a week. When we're catching up, so that was a little bit strange, but hey, you know, that is the new norm. Other than that, same, like insomnia, sleeping a couple of hours, be going to the gym, just trying to keep busy. Nothing really new to report. And yeah, I mean, we're about to finally break that streak, so I'm excited. I can't believe that this is happening, and I'm feeling strong, so determined, so good. Not really thinking about it. You know what? I actually have beers in my fridge, which I will actually show you, and I have so much willpower that I haven't even like looked at them or even drank them. So you know what, guys? If you are watching this, have a drink for me. I will steal your pebble. And win! Yay! Guys, good evening. It is day 8. I made it to day 8 and I am shocked. It actually wasn't hard at all. As I mentioned, I was ready to take on this challenge, so I'm really shocked. It is Sunday the 15th of June, 9:28 p.m. and today, honestly, I managed to have so much fun being sober, and I think that was just made me so happy to be like, yeah, you know what, you don't need alcohol to have fun. And it's sad to say that, you know, I did have alcohol back then to, you know, have lots of fun. And of course, moving forward, like with this challenge, it doesn't mean that I won't be drinking again. I think the idea is to break the habit, to know that, hey, you don't need to have that many drinks, or you could just have some self-control. And that is the purpose of the exercise of the 30-day detox. And had so much fun ending the day with just leftover hot pots, and I bought some more items to just like pimp it up. But you know what? So far, so good. The only other thing, my sleep has gotten a little bit better. I do sometimes have like a headache. I don't know, it could be a factor of other things. Like maybe it's not just this, like having withdrawal symptoms, but I did notice that that is a common symptom. I would say that my skin has gotten much better. This is me without any makeup, and I feel like my skin is kind of glowing. It just looks more healthy overall. So that is definitely a perk of not having alcohol. And yeah, overall, I find that like, hey, I can eat more things that might not be as healthy as or as clean as other items, but I'm not drinking alcohol. So from there, I've kind of cut out carbs, and my overall health and overall diet is much better. So I'm actually really happy. And you know what? I save so much more money as well, so I can buy like more things, do more activities, and that's definitely a bloody pro. Anyway, that's just the update for day 8. We still have a lot of the month to go, but I'll give you guys more updates when something comes up. Otherwise, the next update I'm expecting would be day 22, because apparently it takes 21 days to break a habit. But in the meantime, from day 8 to day 22, if anything happens, I would definitely keep you updated. Good evening. Today is Friday the 20th and I'm on day 13, and honestly it feels like it is much longer. I'm getting to that stage where I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I have had a couple of moments this week where I just felt really stressed or overwhelmed or wanted to reward myself with a drink, but I have stayed strong and everything has been good. Tonight I'm going out to a social event, and I pretty much have social events for the next 4 nights, but I will be staying strong. And then yeah, that's the update, so I'll give you guys some snippets. But yeah, it's getting harder than I thought. I am really kind of itching for it, but staying strong, and we are going to be okay. It's not like, you know how like sometimes you just have a long day, you just have one beer. For me, if I have one beer, it's at least minimum 6 beers, up to like 15 beers. Like, it's like out of control. Yeah, it's not like casual drinking. This is me drinking by myself, by the way. It's like not even with anybody. And then I realized like my mental health got really bad, and I just felt really like not okay, unhealthy overall. So yeah, so then I decided, let's try.
But just beer you try, or any other?
Everything, but usually if I'm by myself, then like beer. But if I go out like party, then of course like shots and everything, soju, whiskey, everything, right? Okay, so last night was pretty easy, but I do find that like when I'm at social events, I'm very fidgety, so because I'm so used to having a drink in my hand, so I had to order like 3 mocktails to survive the night. And tonight I think it's also kind of the biggest kind of challenge, because I am going to this same venue for a social event again, and thereafter I think I am meeting up with a few friends in kind of like the busy nightlife party area. And I'm at that stage, I think like the last 4 days I'm kind of itching for a drink and missing that taste or that feeling that it gives me. And I will be honest, like I thought that I was going to hold strong the whole entire month, but it's getting to that stage where I'm like, wow, it's only been 2 weeks. It feels so bloody long. I have actually thought really hard about, maybe I'll just have one drink. But, like, we can't trust me. One drink doesn't usually equal one drink. The good thing is that I still have those 3 beers in the fridge and they have not been touched. But I find that when I'm at social events, I'm like, kind of want a beer. I kind of wish I had the 0% beer so I can just have that. At least it kind of feels like I'm getting a drink. Like having a beer, like Placebo maybe. But the venue doesn't have that. It only has mocktails and alcoholic beverages and like water and juice. So I'm still thinking like if I should go to the second event tonight. I think it would be cool because the person that I'm meeting up with, her, she's only here for the next week. So it's kind of like I would love to meet up. But yeah, guys, I'm like, it's so sad. But I'm really like, I would love a drink, I would love to crack open a cold beer and sip on it. But gonna keep going, try my hardest to not give in. But yeah, I mean, 30 days doesn't sound that long, but when you have been in this habit for this long, it feels really strange. Yeah, for sure. I've also been having like crazy nightmares and really bad sleep. That sleep thing has been ongoing, maybe like 5 or 6 hours a night. And yeah, I mean, it just has not been a smooth sailing journey, that is for sure. But let's keep going. That is the update for now. So today is Sunday the 22nd of June, day 15 of this 30-day alcohol detox challenge, and I will have to be honest, yesterday I did actually cave and I did have drinks. A part of me, I just caved. I had some drinks, 5 pints of beer, and I was pretty ashamed of myself this morning. Whilst I was having the drinks, it was like, oh, this is so fun. It tastes amazing. But I went overboard and I broke the detox. I relapsed. This morning I woke up and I felt pretty ashamed of myself. I also was considering even maybe not telling you guys that I had broken the detox. I was going really strong for sure, but then I think that the last kind of 4 or 5 days it had been on my mind, the taste of the alcohol and the feeling that it gave me. Last night I just caved and I had my first drink thinking maybe, I'll just have one and then stop, and then it just felt so good, so I kept going. I'm pretty disappointed in myself, but I must say that to even get to day 14 sober, I am proud for that part, but I wish that I stayed strong and finished the complete 30 days. It's just another reminder of how much I rely on alcohol and how much I need it. And it's pretty pathetic, let's be honest. So, I hope that the next 15 days of this detox, I do not relapse again. It's a setback. I'm starting again. But I guess going into this challenge, as much as I would have hoped and loved to have been 30 days fully sober, I think a part of me knew that, potentially I would have a relapse day, because I've never, as I've mentioned multiple times in this vlog, that I've never done something like this, been this sober for this long. So I have done better than I intended. If this was me 2 months ago embarking on this challenge, there's no way that I would have lasted, that's for sure. I probably would have lasted 2 days maximum. So I think I need to give myself a little bit of grace in that sense, but that also doesn't mean that I am not disappointed in myself. But look, these things happen. I mean, it's an addiction, right? Addiction is not easy to get past, to really have that willpower to remove. But I think the purpose of the challenge is to break habits, and I did break the milestones that I have, and then I hope for the rest of the month I'm going to work really hard not to relapse again. That's the update for today.
Hardest thing in Singapore where it's like half US came up here, the other half is
And I don't know how to put the whole wrap in their mouth in one go.
Oh, I can.
Can you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to get pickles. Oh wait, not this one.
Wow. It is currently Wednesday the 25th of June, 4:13 a.m. Oh my, definitely could have cracked open a beer, but no, the shame from last time, so I will not. But I was exporting the video that's meant to be uploaded, I guess, today at 9 a.m. But there were so many issues with it. I'm not so sure what happened, but I had to export 3 times, and each time that I export usually takes about 2 hours. And then towards the end, it would mess up, and I was kind of getting freaked out where I was like, oh no, what is going on? Luckily, all good, but it just meant I had to stay up later to finish off the work. I am so tired. I am so exhausted. That's pretty much the update. Other than that, staying strong besides that relapse, which, big reminder I do not want to feel that way again. So we're going strong again. And we're definitely past halfway now. So if you guys are watching this, have a drink for me or have some water. Good night. Hi everyone, today is Friday the 27th of June, so it is day 20. Tomorrow should be day 21. I'm going to give you an update today because I just thought it's Friday night. I decided to stay in, so I didn't really do much. And I just grabbed a few snacks, so I thought I'll just eat them and chat to you guys. so far so good. I haven't even thought about drinking like at all. So I know that I'm pretty much going to stay strong throughout the rest of the challenge. I am going to Singapore on Monday and I am going for a week. So actually, okay, this is the thing. Usually when I go to a new country, the first thing that I do on that very same night is have a beer, right? So, oh yeah, it's beer. Try the local beer, right? I am there. The last day that I leave Singapore is the 30th day of the Detox challenge. So I'll be going to Singapore and not having any beer, which is a first. And I wonder how I'll go, but my mind's feeling good, especially after the shame of the relapse that happened last week. But yeah, so I want to discuss like another reason as to why I wanted to stop drinking alcohol. It costs you a lot of money, put it that way. Sometimes I have like really bad dreams, but I've also noticed from detoxing, I've also just been having really vivid dreams, and it's like, I'll have like 5 vivid dreams in one night and be able to remember all of them, and they're kind of like my insecurities or like things that I'm already thinking about. So whilst I'm dreaming it, it feels like it's real life. It's like so intense. My sleep has gotten not that much better, to be honest, but I did manage to nap today, which was a win. Other than that, just keeping busy, drinking different things, orange juice, coconut water, been snacking more. I've been craving sweet things, which is not really a thing for me. Another reason why I want to start this detox is that I started to have like kind of panic-like anxiety episodes since December last year, and I always thought it was linked to alcohol. And so I thought like all things directed me to being like, you need to quit alcohol, or not so much quit, but you need to actually be able to have discipline so that when you do drink, you can just chill, like 1 or 2 drinks. You don't need to drink every day until a point where you're like so drunk and then you just crash and fall asleep, right? Things like that. So I wanted to cut out alcohol to see if these episodes would stop, or these panic attacks would stop. But this week, I have experienced these panic-like episodes, and it's just so strange. I'm not too sure what it is. It's not really my mind. It's more starts my body just being like out of touch, and then as a result, I would have like all these symptoms like sweating, tightness in my chest, and then like dizziness, eye strain, all these things, sensitivity to light and sounds. And then as a result, my mind would then start to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, right? So I don't actually know what it is. But so far, I'm actually really proud of myself with the alcohol detox and the outcome. You know, going into this vlog, as I mentioned, I think last time's update, that it wasn't going to be perfect. It was going to be probably one of the hardest challenges I've had to do, because yeah, it was just such a norm for me to crack open a beer, drink by myself, watch TV, drink beer, eat dinner, have some wine. Back then I would drink like 1.5 bottles of wine, go to work the next day, have like wine stained lips, and then have a shitload of coffee. So like stay awake. So like, yeah. I think I'll tell you one thing, like my skin has not gotten better. I don't know if you can tell, but I started having pimples and such. But maybe it's because I've been craving more like sugar and other foods, and I've allowed myself to indulge in it, which is why my skin is not that great. But yeah, that's the update. I think the next update I will be giving you guys is when I am in Singapore. I'll give you guys some snippets and then explain how am I going? Like, am I craving a beer? How does it feel to be people watching at nighttime, wanting to maybe go to a bar, have a drink, things like that, right? So until then, I will see you. So porky, the vinegar, the ginger, all comes together so well. long time no update. So today is the 4th of July and I can't believe I've been in Singapore for over a week now. My trip is ending on Monday and today is Friday. I am on, I believe, day 27 of the alcohol detox. Going strong, but I don't know, I guess when it hits Friday or Saturday, I kind of want that drink. And today I was at the grocery store and I saw a 0% beer and I thought, okay, I'll grab a 4-pack. And let's do a little bit of an experiment. So first I just wanted to ask, why are you guys watching this video? Are you also someone that has an addiction or trouble with alcohol and are looking to also stop or cut down? Or are you just someone that already follows me and this is just an interesting topic to see my addiction and the journey? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink maybe 1 or 2 of these cans and let's see if it's placebo, if I actually feel like I'm drunk or what the situation is like. Have you guys ever had non-alcoholic beer or beverages, and did it ever make you feel like you were like tipsy or drunk? Because I'm quite curious. I know that when I was at Beer on Banks, that after those 2 huge 0% beers, I had like this huge headache and I was like, am I drunk? Because I felt a little bit like out of place. It was so strange. So I want to see if that happens again today. When I have mocktails, no problem, like that doesn't feel like anything, but beer, because the taste is actually pretty on par, it kind of gives me that vibe. So let's see what happens. I'm just like outside the hostel because I didn't want to have this conversation in there where people could listen, but I'm going to crack one in there. Let's drink. If you are also on this journey, just have a non-alcoholic drink or have some water with me, or have some water while I have my non-alcoholic beer, and I will keep you updated. So let's firstly check the time to see how this goes. It is 10:03 p.m. All right, let's crack open that drink. Okay, good news is nobody's here. This is what I'm having. It's a first for me. Alcohol-free, not flavor-free. I love that. Probably the best beer in the world. Okay. I don't know if I should be cheersing you guys, but yeah. I'm not really a Pilsner person, but it is what it is. All right. It's actually a very pretty can. And I'm just finishing off work right now, so I mean, I guess I can just relax and chill on this beer. Quick little update, it's 1 a.m. and my video is still exporting. It's only halfway through. I've finished 3 beers and I feel nothing. If anything, it's actually made me feel really tired, and also it made me crave actual alcohol. So I would not recommend that 0% alcohol actually helps, because it really doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm just bored right now, so bored. You know, good thing is that they have a curfew here in Singapore, so you can't get alcohol at convenience stores and a lot of the hawker centres. So the only way to get alcohol is to go to a bar, which I'm not going to do anyway. So I'm just going to finish off this work and then go to sleep and call it a day. But that's the update. I thought placebo would happen, but no, nothing has happened at all. We are on day 29 of day 30 alcohol detox. I just had a whole chili crab, and you know, usually when you eat seafood, after that I generally would have a beer just to like make sure it stays down and doesn't come back up. But I'm having a Coke Zero, which is all good. No cravings so far, been good. But there is a part of me that is like, oh my gosh, when it's the 8th of July, which means the detox is officially over, I'm gonna get so drunk and I can't wait. Like, I can't wait till that day. But then like thinking back, it's like, that was not the purpose of a detox, like to go on a 30-day detox or attempt to do a 30-day detox to then just go on a freaking like bender or go like off the wagon. The idea is to know that I have discipline and that when I do drink, like, let's try to like not go overboard. So whilst this challenge has to be not drinking at all, I wonder when I do drink after this, like if it will be more controlled. So like, as I mentioned, usually it's at least 6 beers up to like whatever amount. If I'm partying, then I'm having like soju, whiskey, gin and tonic, like all sorts, right? So I think the idea is that if I do drink after this, which I obviously will, like it doesn't go so wild. Like I am able to like have breaks in between the drinks. Not having like a bottle and a bottle or half of red wine like I used to. I don't usually have red wine in Asia anyway because it's so pricey, but these are sort of examples of the things that I generally would do, and I think the idea is to break the habit, know that I can have fun without alcohol and that it's not needed. It drains a lot of money. It adds a lot of weight as well because of the amount of carbs I have from that refreshing beer and things like that. So cheers with my Coke Zero. Hello everyone, it is officially the end of the alcohol detox, and I will be honest, it's actually day 34 and I did not give you an update on day 30. I guess the reason being is I thought the video was already quite lengthy and I did want to see what would actually happen after day 30 if I would start drinking again heavily, like what my mindset was and what. So let's recap. So initially I started because I've had an alcohol addiction for pretty much the longest time I can remember, where there's stages where I've drank daily. This is by myself, 1 to 1.5 bottles of wine in one sitting, 5, anything up from 6 beers up to like 15. I think the maximum I had one time was 18, and I've had days where I've started drinking at 12 or 11 a.m. all the way up to like 3 a.m. the next day, and just been on crazy binges. And I think a big part was I just loved the feeling it gave me. Maybe I liked being numb as well, and I think a big part of this detox was to see if I could do it, was to actually break these barriers, break the habits, to change, and to know that, hey, you don't need to drink that much, you can still have fun, or if you do drink, just drink in moderation. And so, I'm pretty proud of myself, I will say. I only broke the detox once in the whole 30 days, which is so big. I broke all those milestones that I mentioned, so the first one being beating 4 days, and then beating 7 days, and then 21 days being like breaking a habit. Okay, I did not break 21 days. Oops. I went to 14, then I caved, right? So, all in all, I think the purpose for me personally was just to break the habit. So now that when I do drink, and I actually have drank since day 30, I didn't show you because I don't think it's appropriate if you are in this, vlog trying to detox yourself. I did drink, and one thing that I am happy to say is that I was in control a little bit. I didn't realize that my tolerance is not the best, so I did get hammered after just a couple of drinks. So yeah, I haven't drank since then. Tonight I'm thinking if I will, but I don't even really think about drinking. But the thing that I do know is that when I start, I still have the urge to keep going, crack open that next beer or have that refreshing drink. And I think particularly it's quite hard being in Asia where it's hot and you just want to crack open a beer at the end of the day. But you know what? That's just making excuses. That's me not having any discipline, having lack of discipline in terms of that area. So moving forward, I hope that my skin is actually not better. You think that it would be. I am actually breaking out. When I was drinking, my skin looked actually better. But anyway, overall, my mental health, actually, I've had some mental health issues, and I always thought it was linked to alcohol, but now it seems like alcohol was just maybe a factor, but not actually the sole factor. So I have a lot of work to do in terms of my mental health and my overall health, but it was a very good experiment. So let me know how you guys went. Have you ever embarked on some type of alcohol detox or any detox in your life, and realize that you actually had such a heavy addiction for it, or you really relied on it? I've also had coffee addiction as well. Back then I used to drink triple shots 3 times a day at work, so that's something that I don't really crave anymore. But there are phases of your life where you do have these heavy addictions that you realize that you're actually almost even like moody or angry when you don't have that thing that you need, right? And you think it's kind of like an essential, like it's food. So I'm pretty proud of myself with this vlog. It was a very hard and interesting month, let's say, because I felt like being sober really made me replay lots of things. I was having vivid dreams of all these fears that I subconsciously had in my mind. I was having lots of nightmares about all the things that could go wrong in my life, the things that I feared about. And honestly, because I was sober, I could really remember these nightmares, and I would wake up and just be like completely flustered over them. So there was lots of reflections. I even reflected back to when I got bullied in like primary school. So there was like lots of underlying issues and maybe like trauma that I didn't realize that I still had. And maybe I just always like didn't realize it was something that was there. And it just seems like little bits and things that probably play on your insecurities or maybe your weaknesses or areas for improvement. They're just small, but then when you keep shrugging them under the bush and then you keep like shrugging them under the rug and acting like they don't impact you, I think, you know, with a clear mind, you kind of realize that there's lots of work to be done. And, you know, as we grow older, we realize there's so much things that we need to work on. And, you know, now is the time. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I hope that you got something out of it, even if it was just watching me struggle or whatever. Right, I'm glad that you are here, and if you made it to the end of this vlog, please leave me a comment below. Let me know if you enjoyed this, if you've had a similar encounter, and how did you go? Let me know. Other than that, thanks so much for your support, and I will see you guys in my food and travel vlogs.
So sweet like a lemonade. Took time, we can give it a minute, mate. We can do something new, let me innovate. We can take it slow like we iterate.